bright.
As we walk by, I jump out of the wagon and tell the rest of the group I'm going to need to talk to this guy. Also, as a quick note, did we pass any guards coming in?
No, it looks undefended.
I'll jump out with Scyllid.
Okay.
Do you guys think that we should probably just hang out here for the day, or are we going to want to make our way off pretty quick? I don't know how useful I'm going to be. I'm starting to feel like my powers are drained, yo.
This is not Bear Town, is it?
This is Bear Town.
This is Bear Town.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to start asking around then.
Yeah, let's do this. Bardrick, why don't you go and fetch us an inn? Let us know when that's ready. I think you probably have the gold to pay for it. If not,
No, I'm totally broke.
all right, well, let me know how much it's going to be, and we'll see if Kellen or Slid can pay for it. We'll talk to them. They might have some gold. And I'll be here with our prisoner.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll meet back here in just a bit.
So you guys sort of spread out throughout the town, just sort of gathering information. You find from a couple of people in town which house it was that was attacked by the bear, and they point you. It's off on the west end of town. You discover that there is no inn in this town, but as soon as you guys start asking about the bear and mentioning that you need somewhere to stay, one of the townsfolk, let's see what her name is. Her name is Bether. She offers, Bether.
Okay.
She offers to let you sleep at her place while you're here looking for this bear.
Is Bether a human?
Yeah, she's human.
What type of accommodations are they?
It's this town is dirt poor, man. Like, this is like worse than you're used to in just about everywhere. But it is people's homes, so like they keep it fairly clean, fairly orderly. Bether is a fairly orderly person. But dirt floors, log cabins, smoke fires in the middle of living rooms, whatever.
When she offers it, I just kind of like, that's awfully kind of you. My friends, you guys are welcome to stay here, but I'll fetch a room for myself. Thank you, Bether. It's very kind.
Okay.
I'm not fussed. I'll stay wherever.
Cool.
Did I learn anything about the description of the bear itself?
Sorry, tell me what you're asking for.
I'm looking in our travels around the town. I'm asking, like, what did this bear look like? Did it have different, like, anything memorable about it, like red eyes, antlers, whatever? I don't care. Anything different about it?
They say yes. It had 2 white spots, one on each side, and it was sleek. It was like a well-fed bear, sleek, slender, svelte, 2 white spots on its side, and it just like tore out of town after ravaging this woman's house.
Okay, is there anything that I can roll that would jog a memory from whatever, like a wilderness or excuse me,
that you might
nature
know
or something?
more about this bear?
Yes, yep, or a bear like it, or
Not
what
from
happened
that
to it.
description, I wouldn't
Okay,
say.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
But if you go and like examine the house, maybe there would be more information there for you to gather, like spoor or something.
There I'm going.
Let's find out what's going on at this smith. Like, what are you doing, Silly?
All right, so as I said at the beginning, one of the big things that keeps me going, and one of the reasons I have so many sleepless nights, is my push to figure out what's going on with this sword. And the sword itself, there's no real properties about it. It's pretty much a standard sword, except across the bottom of the hilt are these runes that I have never seen before. And when we were getting to know each other in the group, I showed it around. No one seemed to have any insight on where these runes came from. So the first thing I do is go up to this blacksmith and I look him right in the eye and ask him, how good are you with rare weapons, and have you seen anything like this? And as I say that, I slide the hilt down a few inches and show him the runes on the hilt of my sword.
He doesn't look you in the eye at all. He doesn't even look at you. He's hammering down at this raw piece of iron, and as he hammers, you hear just the faintest step in the rhythm of his hammering as he glances over and he takes a look at the sword, and then he quenches the iron in a barrel of oil that's next to him. Fire goes flaring up all along his arm. He's got this big leather glove, that he's wearing to quench this thing. And then he throws it down on the ground. He says, "Ah, ruined. Well, stranger, I can't say that I know anything about ancient ruins. Now, if you don't mind, I have a horseshoe to forge." And he pulls out another block of iron from like a stack over next to his anvil, sticks it in the forge, stokes the forge, starts working the bellow. And he just goes back to work.
So I put my hand over his hand that's putting down the hammer, and I hold it down. And I hold the sword under his eyes, and I say, "Do you know of anyone who would be able to help me?"
He just sort of stops. And he looks at you and he says, "What's this to you anyway?"
And I tell him that's of no concern to him.
"Well then, elf, I don't see why you're any concern of mine." And he like brushes you out of his way, and he continues like stoking the forge and heating this block of iron.
I take out a few coins and rustle them in my hand loud enough for him to hear. And I tell him, "Is there anything that would make a difference?"
He takes out this block of iron, sets it down on top of the anvil. He says, "This is the second ingot you've caused me to ruin today. It's worth nothing more than, I don't know. I guess I could make some spikes or something out of it. Not fit for horses' feet anyway. Tell you what, I'll take a look at your sword for 5 gold pieces."
I toss 5 gold pieces on the ground.
He looks down, stoops down, picks it up, bites one of the pieces, says, "Well, your money's good." Tucks him in the back pocket. He pulls out the sword. He looks at it. He just sort of fixes his eye along it. He says, "Aye. Elven work, yes? I didn't know they made swords this heavy. I thought they were into lighter weapons. Where did you find this?" You don't want to talk about it. Never mind. Forget my impropriety. Well, the ruins, I'm no sage. I can't tell you anything about it. You'd have to look for a sage, someone who knows something. I've heard there's a witch who lives to the north. Maybe she'd be able to tell you more about it. As for the craftsmanship, it's mighty fine. I don't know that I've seen a better forged blade, even one as old as this. It's clearly seen its better days, but do you mind if I work with it just a little bit, heat it, strike it maybe a little bit? I promise not to harm the blade. I simply want to see its makeup."
I take the blade, I slam it closed, and I walk out without saying a word.
Well, come back when you want a closer look at that blade of yours, son." And then he picks up another new piece of iron and goes back to forging.
So real quick, with my Wanderer perk, is that enough for me to get a location on what he was talking about to the north?
No, but it gives you a hint of where to look, right?
Perfect. Thank you.
Basically, like your Wanderer perk, like now if you ever need to find Kostal, like you know where it is. You know the land, you know the road, you know like the hill that you were on, you remember it vividly. You're not going to forget it. But like stuff that you haven't visited, you need a little more to go on.
Okay.
If someone was able to say, "Oh yeah, it's at this location in reference to somewhere you know," you would have a really good chance of finding it.
No one touches my sword.
So,
I am
man.
investigating the house
Yeah.
where the bear attacked. Also, I don't know if I would have been asking about the opium as well around, see if anybody's on it.
Just like going up to people and being like, "Do you know about the ghost smoke?"
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, nobody's talking.
Does it look
Like-
like they're climbing up when I mention it?
Give me an insight roll.
You betcha. Oops. Come here. You. Okay. And insight is, let's see, +2. Yes, good, excellent.
Man, you have no idea. Like, as soon as you mention it,
Okay.
you probably just space out and then, like, wait for them to answer or whatever.
Okay. Forget it then. I'll just go over to the bear attack place.
Yeah. So you head to the cottage, and you step inside, and there's a musty smell as of like musk or like animal smell. And the people that you're talking to, they say this happened 2 nights past, and they're incredibly grateful to you that you've come so quickly. The interior of the cottage is just trashed, but you notice that it's actually a little bit nicer than usual. There's actually a bear head mounted on the wall. There's a deer head mounted on the other wall. There's a couple of like skins hung out for drying and curing, like leather skins.
Okay.
There's a shattered bed with like a couple scattered sheets of paper over next to it. There's a nightstand next to the bed. There's a basin in the corner where someone did their washing.
Okay. I have just so you know, my favorite enemies as a ranger. My favorite enemy, I pick beasts, and so that means like beasts of the wild, like lions, bears, whatever.
Yep,
you know,
absolutely.
wherever I'm from. So and also the tanning and the stuff is familiar to me because that's, you know, I've lived out in the woods forever and that kind of stuff. Let me see. And what else? And because I don't know if I would even intuit this being who I am, but it reeks of like a druid, is what it's smelling like as me being Zeke. It reeks of druid. Would my character even make that connection, or am I way out of my mind and forget it?
I mean, it's entirely reasonable to go there. I'd say that you have heard of people who can change their shape, like druids can.
Right. Because my mother was a druid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One second. Cool. Yeah. Do you want to like look around for anything? What are you trying to see?
I'm trying to see like if there are bear tracks are any different than bear tracks I've seen before. If there's any human tracks, if there's a sign of a battle or blood or anything like that, check out the scraps of paper. Do the whole like take 20. Is take 20 still a thing?
I don't like using take 20 because I don't think it gives interesting things. What I prefer to let you do is let you roll, and then however high you roll, the more information you'll get.
Perfect. Okay. So
give me a nature check or an investigation check, whichever is better.
They're both the same. So
okay.
So 10.
Okay. Yeah, you see these bear tracks leading away from this house. Like clearly some bear came bursting out this door and like walked out through the town off to the west, it looks like. There's no spoor or anything. There's a couple patches of fur like on the door frame. That's all you see as far as like evidence of the animal itself. Like as far as like human tracks, like it's a town, so there's footprints everywhere, right?
Right.
And that's what you find investigating like the dirt around the cottage.
Okay, and the bear tracks don't look. There's nothing wonky about them.
Nope.
Cool. Excellent. And then I'll
bear
just
tracks.
see what's inside the thing as far as the papers go. I'm trying to move this along as quick as possible because it's tedious.
Okay. So you go look at the papers.
Right.
Okay. You pick one of them up, and it's actually like there's writing on it that's all like burnt out, and as you pick it up, it just crumbles in your hands.
Okay.
But there's a second smaller piece of paper underneath it.
Okay.
And
Is
when
it
you pick
burned
that
as
up,
well?
no. Only this one piece of paper you picked up first was burnt. You pick up this second piece of paper, and it has writing on it in common.
Okay.
And it says, use the product in a safe place. And there's a little dash, and it says Hextia.
Okay.
The name of the person we were supposed to see for the other person.
They're linked.
Hmm.
Okay, and then as soon as I'm done investigating, I'll go back to the house that we were allowed to stay in and let everyone know what I found.
Oh, there's one more thing.
Okie dokie.
As you're leaning down to pick up these papers, you see another paper, like a long roll of paper, under the bed.
Under the bed?
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab it. And
Okay.
Is it sealed or anything just rolled up?
Well, you pull on it, and it just keeps coming, and you realize as you're pulling it out that it's not a piece of paper. It's a skin. It's actually like the full skin of a woman. Just like somebody's skin. And it's not bloody or anything. It's just the skin of a woman under this bed. It's not tanned. It's not treated.
Does it look like it was worn by somebody? Like it was hollowed out?
Well, it is hollow. There's nothing inside of it.
Like
it's
I'm saying,
split down the front.
It's flayed out like a bear skin.
No, it's more like torn out from the front. Like it doesn't look crafted or like carefully whatever or anything. It's yeah.
Okay, let's see. Can I make an Arcana check to see if this is a magical anything?
Oh wow, what a thing. Let me look at what exactly
Damn.
Arcana can tell you. And then we'll see.
Okay.
Just for the record, the only person that's seeing all this stuff is Kellen, right? All the rest of us are not anywhere nearby.
Right.
Yeah, like did any of you go with him?
No.
No, I think I was sorting out
I'm looking
the
for better lodging.
place for us to stay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
doing
Now,
that
Kellen, did
myself.
you wait for me to be done at the Smith? Because you got out of me. Am I with you right now?
No,
Because
I just assumed since.
Oh, you just went, right?
I
went to
assumed
Smith and
since
you
he
went to the
was
house?
the blacksmith was just talking to you, I just left because he didn't include me in that. So I just figured I left.
Perfect.
All right, go ahead and roll an Arcana check. This is kind of like to recall what you know about spells, magic items, elder symbols, magical traditions, the planes of existence, and the inhabitants of those planes. Like, if you're not examining something that you know to be inherently magical, it's harder to get information, but yeah, I'll give you a roll.
12.
You got nothing, man.
Okay, cool. I just didn't know if if whatever. I mean, obviously, me being a gamer and a role player, I'm like shapeshifter, shedding its skin, whatever. But I don't know personally anything about that, so I will leave that where I left it, and horrified, obviously, and walk very slowly and pale back to where we're at.
So you did not bring the skin with you?
Nope, I left it right where it was. I'm not gonna drag that through town.
You just pull it out of the thing, you just pull it across town.
Waving at people. Hey,
Just saying, your character wouldn't bring it through town. Just saying.
no, I'm.
I'd fling
not
that over my shoulder and walk through a mall. Just saying.
Right, I'm oblivious, not a moron. But that's bravery to you. Alright, but anyways, that's what I do.
All right, so you guys all catch up with each other around the trading post in the center of town, and, what do you guys make of this?
Okay, so I'm
does he
I'm at this
tell us?
point.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
spilling the guts, spilling my beans.
So you have now told us everything that you found, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay. So progression here from the logical standpoint was something happened to woman for her to lose her skin, and then we don't know the order of events or anything, but I think at this point we have to get it and figure out what the hell happened to get it off that woman's body.
I think since there is two things connecting both things is the name Hextia and the bear is connecting both things. So we should choose whether we seek out Hextia or we seek out the bear, because I can track the bear pretty well.
Maybe it's like the same person or something. If they're all like shedding skins and we just need a drug bust. That's what we need to be. We need to just be like, just cleanse the area of all the drugs. Help everybody.
My concern is that the woman in the note is the woman that may have lost her skin, because it's never good to lose your skin. That could be an affliction of some sort, and perhaps
What are they wearing?
I know, right? So I'm concerned as the name given to us in the note was a woman, that mayhaps there is a connection here.
Use this product in a safe place. From it signified it was from Hextia.
That's interesting. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, because the note
Dash
clearly said that
Hextia.
we had to get to Hextia before whatever happened to this woman was going to happen. So it didn't imply there was any connection between Hextia and this woman before whatever action occurred in that note, which is like a whole different level of stuff.
Indeed.
Oh, incidentally, you have managed to uncover, as you're talking to people in town, that the woman who was ravaged and devoured by this bear was the owner of the cabin, a huntress named Cyna, Cyna.
What time of day is it, Stephen, when we make it here? Is it like afternoon?
It's like 3. By now, it's probably like 4.
Oh, okay.
As this is my character's third day awake, he looks over at Bard and said, "Do you remember the name of the woman in the note? Because I don't." Or anybody, for that matter. He looks around the group and says, "Does anyone remember what the name of the afflicted woman was in the note we found?"
Mira.
Mira. So it is
Yes.
not the name of this other one. Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
So these are separate events.
So the two leads, do we find Hextia or do we find the bear first? Which would you prefer? Or neither. We could just go drink at the inn.
Well, that does sound great.
No,
We need
I
to... I think the bear is probably more...
Should we get more information first? Maybe
Oh, of
talk to the
course.
tavern owner. Yeah.
Of course.
Well,
I
we're gonna
do
definitely
think
need
that a
some rest.
fallback is... Oh, go ahead, Bard.
I do think we're going to need a little bit of rest, but I definitely want to attack both of these things at the same time because I think they're related. Definitely feeling that way.
Do we know what time the bear attacked town? Was it during the day or was it at night?
It was at night.
We could just ask around town, try to get as much information, and then leave to the woods first thing tomorrow morning.
I agree with that.
I suggest that we should potentially ask around town to see if there's someone who could analyze that skin more before we leave.
I agree with that.
I don't want anything to do with the skin. I'll probably just go rest.
My only
So-
concern with that... Go ahead, though, Stephen, and then I'll...
Like, it's a tiny town. It's just a little farming village, right? There's nobody here who knows what the fuck happened. Like, with this skin and this bear killing somebody. This is, like, rattling this tiny, tight-knit community. And you guys are, like, definitely the weirdest people here. Everybody else here is like, I think I'll slaughter a chicken for dinner tonight, and I'll cook it with some potatoes. And that's all. Like, forever and ever. Their kids
So in
are
other
like...
words, there's no point doing what I... Okay.
So
Okay.
no
their
one knows
children are
any-
like, Pa, will you slaughter a chicken tonight and cook it with the potatoes as we always enjoy?
So no one knows anything about Hextia or nothing.
Have we asked? Have we asked
If you ask around about Hextia, people are willing to talk. They say, "Oh yeah, she's a hedge witch, and she lives a couple miles to the north of town."
Now,
So
hedge witch,
the
does
bandit-
that signify good or evil? Or
Neither.
does it?
There is no alignment signification.
Cool. Okay.
Specifically, she lives within sight of an old standing stone.
Go.
Has
On
anyone
directions.
has anyone in this town ever heard of the afflicted woman that the bandit mentioned?
Mira,
Mira.
Yes. If we may ask, is there any reaction?
give me an investigation roll, Silent.
Can we all do that?
I'm gonna let Silent take care of it, just for just
God damn it,
to
Silent.
speed things
Why do
along.
I even roll? Why do I
No.
even roll?
Nobody knows of a Mira.
Okay. At that point, I'd say it's probably to the tavern. That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe
Okay.
try getting some of the locals drunk.
There's actually no tavern in Castow, but Bether
Oh,
Bether has a jug of shine that she's happy to share with y'all.
Shine. Moonshine. Nice.
Yep.
I feel like we should try to get someone in this town drunk, just to get more information. If nothing else. But if there's no one, well, if the whole town is simple, I guess that wouldn't do too much. So
I think they say what they want to say. They don't need alcohol.
I gesture over to Asila and ask what he's thinking about this.
Like, well, I'd love to get some sleep, even though it's 3 p.m. You know, all that fighting really wore me out. And I think that You guys can find all the information you want, but we probably just need to head to the forest tomorrow morning. I don't think we're really going to find anything else extra out.
I agree. I will provide us dinner if I can. I would love to hunt around here. I've never been here before. I'd like to see what kind of animals they have to eat.
You hear a clonk, and then Bether steps around from behind the house and she says, "Y'all want me to cook you up this chicken with some nice potatoes, as we always do?"
Bether, you know that I think for my friends
sounds good.
that'll fit their appetite just right. I have a place down that I've acquired, and I'll be spending the night there.
Oh, well, you have a nice time. More foie gras for the rest of us. And she wanders back in the house.
I walk out. Steven, I guess during all of this, I don't know if you want to roleplay this, but I've actually just offered someone 20 gold to give them their house, or to give me their house.
Oh, man, let me see.
Hold on, is this 20 of your gold? Whose gold is this exactly that you're
That's
offering?
from the pot.
Oh my lord.
Let me see here.
And I'm too trusting to even care. Like, the gold is safe with him.
Let's see. Calculator 2 times.
And if you want me to make a roll to see if I
Yeah,
can
that's-
adjust that properly, but
They say let's see who you found.
okay.
Roll 1d100 for me, please.
All right. 72.
72. Okay, you found a guy named Grost.
Gross.
Grost. And he's actually a very refined gentleman.
Perfect.
And he says, "Ah, good sir, yes, 20 gold pieces. Well, that is quite a sum for around these parts. I personally am not looking to sell, but perhaps you should speak with my neighbor.
It's
His
just for the
name-"
night, sir. Just for the night. I don't want to wish to own your shitty house.
Oh, well, for the night, 20 gold pieces. Yes, I happily let you stay.
Fantastic. No one else of your family. Everyone out. Just leave.
Oh, I have no family. You can stay in one of my guest rooms. And he opens the doors to the house, and it's
No,
like...
no. The entire house. You're gone for the night.
He bows and he says, "A man of refinement. Yes, well, by all means, I will find somewhere else to stay this evening."
Fantastic.
And
I hear that
opens
there's a
the
woman
doors.
down the street by the name of Bether. You could probably go stay with her. She might be.
Oh, Bether is a dear. I will stay with Bether.
All right.
Good idea.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Grost. He opens the door to the house. He hands you a key, and like the interior of this house is just like gorgeous, like carved wooden, like what do you call them? Pillars holding up the roof, and like hanging lanterns glowing with a low golden glow, and like rugs on the floor. It's really nice.
Okay. Yeah, before he even finishes talking, I just shut the door in his face and lock it.
Awesome.
And I stayed there for the night.
So are we moving to tomorrow morning?
Well, just if we, I don't know how fast you want to do this, but if I could graciously accept a little bit of food and then go hunt because I want to keep my skills up, yada yada yada.
Yeah. Give me a nature roll.
Okay, cool. Nature is wisdom, isn't it? Nature is no, it's intelligence +1. Okay, cool. 21. Wow, I came back with a whole bunches of shit.
Oh, damn.
Nat 20. Woo!
Yeah, you go wandering. You find a couple deer. They're a little far away, so they lead you on a merry chase across the hills. And
Uh-oh.
you hear a roar. You know what? It's time for a break.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Oh god, let's do this! Let's do this! Oh!
All right, we'll take this quick 3-minute break. We'll come back and find out what Kellen has actually found. So, See you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching. More roleplay coming up right after this.